Hey there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Dachek with Queen Bee Creations. We are doing a fun craft today. I'm not a huge Halloween person. I know like my daughter loves it. And I know there's tons of other people that they look for. Halloween is their thing, right? They love it more than any other holiday. Me, not as much. But I had this idea for a Halloween craft that I just couldn't get out of my head. And then I've thrifted this. I thrifted this ceramic bathtub. Now, it's probably bigger than I need, but it is what it is. So we're going to be making a candle. And I'm saying a candle because this is a honkingly huge candle. So the first thing first, I have my little baby crock pot, and I use this to melt candle wax. I thrifted it for $5, so not a big deal. It's all I use it for. I could probably have other craft uses. I just haven't used it yet. And this is just natural soy wax flakes. So I don't scent my candles just because I'm susceptible to migraines and that kind of thing. But I'm just going to I'm just putting wax in here. Now, you could just take old candles that you've got, right? And melt them down. And that's fine too. I just happen to have this stuff. I'm probably going to have to do a couple of melts. Like maybe the bag, I don't know, that's a big container. But I'm just setting this off to the side to get it ready for at least the beginning. And we can get everything else set up. So I'm not gonna worry about wicks yet because we have to do the Halloween part to this. So what I had wanted, and I went to the dollar store looking for, was a skeleton. But all the skeletons are huge. I could get a hand, but I could get, so weird. I couldn't get a person skeleton, but I could get dinosaur skeletons. Like, go figure, right? So like these little wingy arms on him weren't good, but they were better on him because I could cut them down, but I liked his feet better than his feet. So I am going to, in the spirit of Halloween, I'm going to Frankenstein them together. I'm just going to cut off the parts that I need. So I don't know if I like his head or his head better coming out of the bath. I don't know. All right, so here's the deal. I have to cut them apart. I don't want the whole body, and I don't need the whole body. And I don't know how easy they're going to be to cut. Fairly easy if you use the twist method. So here's the thing. You don't have a very long neck. Is your neck longer? Not much. Because I really don't want. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is this means I have to, so I don't want to, I'm gluing parts of him to make it look like he's taking a bath. I can't, maybe I needed to leave some chest. Maybe I have to go with this head after all. You know what? Just the figuring out parts of these things is what it's all about. Okay, taking that arm off, taking that wing off. Okay, I'm just taking them apart first. Probably is a smarter way to go. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm not going to be using that part of you, but I might need some of your rib cage. All right, I'm thinking I may have to glue his neck back on. I I don't like your head there. I like your head there. Okay, I can do that part. So what I'm looking at is having parts of him sticking up out of the bathtub, so it looks like he's taking a bath. And then the soap, I'm not making soap. And the candle part will come up around him. So you can't see the parts of the body that are submerged because he's in the bath. Kind of cute, kind of freaky, kind of definitely Halloween-y, right? It kind of fits with the Halloween vibe. So I'm just holding this in place while it sort of dries. It's taking a long time, but while I'm holding it, I might as well reinforce it. And really, candle making is really quite easy. I mean, if you were doing it professionally and you wanted to sell your candles, then you're going to be very concerned about the quality of the wax, and am I doing beeswax candles? Am I doing soy? Why am I doing one versus the other? Am I scenting? Am I not scenting? If I'm scenting, what scents? Quality of the scents, all that kind of stuff. You know, quality of the wick, how fast does it burn? All that kind of stuff. I'm not doing this professionally. I'm doing this for fun. So I don't care as much. So if some of you guys are like professional candle people, you know, just ignore me. Sorry. It just is what it is. So yeah, I need his feet sticking up out of the bathtub. His little feet are just flat and they're not going to look as good. So I needed the two of them. I just need him to firm up. And then we're going to just attach him. Are you firming at all? So what I'm going to do, let me just tell you, you don't need to watch glue dry, right? I'm going to glue him so that he's here, so that I was going to say soap again, so the wax can come up to his body, up higher, and he sits a little higher. I'm going to cut back the arms so that his little arms kind of rest out, but I don't want all of these long things. And then I'm going to take the feet from this guy and I'm going to stick them so they're sticking out of the end of the bathtub. I'm going to get all that glued in place and we're going to get our wax melting, and then we'll come back. In my head, this is really cute. All right, I'm waiting on my, I keep wanting to say soap because I'm looking at the bathtub, but on my wax. But here's him now. So what I did do was I took some Jenga blocks and stacked them up so that his chest could rest on it and so that his hips could rest on it. And then I put some in the middle. And I'm thinking, I'm leaving them because then the soap goes over top of it. Let's face it, this is probably not a candle that anybody's actually going to light. It's functional, they can light it, but they're probably not gonna. So that just means I need less wax. What I am going to do though, is I am gonna stick in 2 wicks. So this little kit that I got, and I'll drop in a link to where I got this on Amazon. It came with the stiff wicks and these little sticking plasters that hold the wicks in place so you don't have to do the, you know, the popsicle stick trick. So, and then you just trim the wicks down afterward. But it came with tons of wicks with the assumption that maybe you were gonna do small candles rather than big honking things. But then all I'm gonna do is pull these discs off. There we go. I'm starting to think better. Easier said than done. And I've left 2 spots down in there. And I'll take a pick and I'll show you the downward look. And I'm just gonna stick these in between. So all that we're doing is we're waiting for our wax to melt. And then I'll have a two wick candle here, because if they are gonna light it, it's big. And there we go. And I may end up getting some large sticks to be able to hold those wicks in place. They're stiff, but when you add, it's because they're wax coated. So as soon as you add the hot wax, potentially they're gonna move. They're gonna melt a little bit and sag. So if we want them lined up, we may have to prop them a little bit, but I'll take a picture and I'll show you the configuration. It's kind of a unique view. Okay, there you go, the overhead view of them. You can see the two wicks and the Jenga blocks kind of holding him in position. And I think it will work. I have a little bit of wax melted over here, and what I want to do is just kind of put, get the start of it going, just to start to anchor my blocks a little bit. So I just use a little, you know, measuring cup, little metal measuring cup that, again, I thrifted. And I'm just trying to make an effort to pour where his little hand isn't, so it doesn't get covered in the wax. And we'll see how this goes. So you can see my sticks already starting to shift as that hot wax started to move the those wicks around. So let me just kind of tape him to his chest and his tail. Hold them upright, hold them in place a little bit. And then as this wax cools and solidifies, I can get more wax going in here. I mean, if you have a bigger crock pot that you're using for this, you won't need to do it in all the stages that I am, but that's okay. I'm in no rush. I just melt a little bit, go off and do something else in the shop, melt a little bit more, go off and do something else in the shop. So I'm gonna keep melting and pouring, and then we'll see what it looks like when I get to take them all apart. He's looking kind of cool right now. Different, but kind of cool. This has had overnight. So now it's virtually done. We just have to take the sticks out and cut our wicks, trim our wicks off. And I gotta tell you, he is just, you know what? I don't know if cute is the right word. I'm gonna trim these. Off. So I don't know if cute's the right word, but it's pretty cool. Now, I get, first of all, this is a big honkin' candle. I'm glad that I put those blocks on the bottom. You can't see them, so it's not an issue. It took less wax. I was about to say soap again. It took less wax as a result. So definitely something that I would suggest if you have an equally large container. When I couldn't find just a skeleton, and how many times do you have like an idea in your head and then you go looking for the exact thing that's in your head and you can't find it? I know it exists somewhere. If I hadn't been eager to get this done, or again, because, you know, we're just like, this is September 30th that I'm filming this. So I'm on the cusp of October, which means you've only got a month till Halloween, which is when this is most appropriate. So, you know, you can't always wait for things to be shipped. So I went with what I could find. And I think kind of MacGyvering him, these were the better feet to use. These feet, because they're just kind of flat, you know, great for standing. but they wouldn't have had the same look sticking out. So we kind of MacGyvered the two of them together, or Frankenstein them. Fits with the season. That it works. I kind of like the little tails sticking out there, and you know what? It's just kind of fun. I get that I just happened to have found an actual bathtub. Really, I was just going to use like a galvanized little round tub, oval tub, or you could go with a wooden one. Really, anything is going to work, especially because of the creature. You got to think, if they're taking a bath, they're taking it with whatever they got. So you could use any kind of container that you think is going to be kind of fun, kind of cool. It could become a hot tub. It could be whatever. But I think it's a super fun, super sweet idea. You know what? It's just weirdly wonderful. Let me know what you think of this one, guys. A little bit out there, but it's still kind of in keeping. Halloween, think that way when you look at this. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. You just never know what I'm getting up to. Until then, guys, take care.